Welcome back, hockey fans. 2025 ISBHF World Junior Ball Hockey Championships here in beautiful Hradec Kralove in the Czech Republic. Marquee matchup of the day, the Czech Republic in white taking on Team Canada in the black uniform. In the U23 division, I'm your play-by-play announcer, Chris Bukanowitz. Glad to have you with us here. A lot of fans in attendance at CPP Arena. Certainly going to give a little advantage to the hometown Czech Republic. Both teams undefeated coming into this, and we'll have a lot of players to keep an eye on, and we're just about ready for the ball drop. And looking at Canada, leading scorer Cole Dupereau with 9 points, followed by Noah Webster, who has 8. Other players to keep note, Adam Pinkson has 5 points, as does Carter Langland. And Jason Granito in net for Canada. Number 40, Matthew Hennessy, as we are underway. For the Czech Republic, keep an eye on tournament leading scorer Jan Čeka, last year's most valuable forward and tournament leading scorer at the 2024 Men's World Championship, which Canada won in overtime. He has been all but unstoppable thus far. Here in the U23 division, we got our first whistle of the day. Ball dumped in softly on the Czech netminder. Čeka with 15 points. Also keep an eye on number 88, Martin Kubicek. Čeka number 92. Kubicek has 9 points. And then Peter Sima has 8 points as we get ready for the drop here. Face-off won by Canada, shot blocked. Picked up by the Czechs. They're going to take it back into their own zone. As a reminder, you can get live scoring in effect on stats.isbhf.com from any available web browser on your phone or laptop or computer, as we get our first flooring call of the day here. Beautiful weather today here in Hradec Kralove. About 78 degrees, slightly overcast. Not nearly as bad as yesterday, as we had a very short heat wave come through. It was 90 degrees outside, and certainly felt like about $110 here, as we get a shot on net that just whistled wide. About $110 in the arena. So fatigue definitely played a factor yesterday, but today players should be well rested. The arena feels a lot cooler. Looking forward to a very fast-paced affair as Czech Republic keep it in the zone. Long dumping, that's going to go up into the mesh netting, and we'll get a whistle. And the faceoff is going to come back out to neutral zone. It looks like the Czechs are going to get wholesale line changes here. Been a great tournament thus far. Czech Republic knocked off the United States in their opening match of the day, 6-3, and then took care of business against Great Britain. As Canada wins the drawback. Sends it up along the far boards. Player bodied off the ball there, picked up by the Czech Republic. Back behind the net towards the near boards. Into the neutral zone. Back to the defense. And we get a whistle here as the ball went up out of play. And a little bit of jostling already between these two teams. Oh, they know each other well. Several players on the U23 squad for both Czech Republic and Canada played last year in the men's final, which was one of the greatest hockey games I certainly ever had the privilege of calling. And first double overtime in ISBHF history in a gold medal game. Josh Anderson for Canada scored the game winner with an assist from Carl Levaye to give Canada their second straight gold medal. So they ended up repeating as world champions as the ball gets batted down into the near corner and then intercepted by Canada as Czech was unsuccessful on the clear. Canada tried rifling that in down low but was intercepted as Canada takes it back into their zone. Canadians gain the zone. Ball goes behind the net towards the near boards. And we get our first goal of the game just like that. Canada goes up 1-0. Well, that's certainly the start Team Canada wanted. See who's leading the charge here. It looks like number 67 for Canada, Jack Alexiuk. I can see the replay here. It just looked like a harmless centering attempt. There was a Czech player there, and I don't know if he misplayed it. I can see the replay up here on the Jumbotron. Czech player went to stop the pass and just missed it. Found the stick of Alexiuk, and he redirected it right into the back of the net to give Canada the 1-0 lead. Huge start for the Canadians. Well, Czechs have got to feel pretty unfortunate about that. It just looked like a harmless centering attempt, but you've heard me say it many times during these broadcasts, when you throw the ball on net, a lot of times good things happen. And that's what Canada did right there. But Canada back behind the net, up through the neutral zone, directed into the Czech zone. Czechs take control up through the neutral zone, trying to chip it forward, and we get a whistle here from the referee back behind the play. We're going to get called for a slash here. I did not see the actual infraction. I know you don't have replay here on the stream, but I'll see if I can take a look at it up on the high definition Jumbotron, as I like to call it, here at CPP Arena. Well, the infraction is on number 44 for Canada. That's Wiley Burkett. Looks like they're not going to show the replay, but it was the far referee behind the play that called it, immediately put his arm up. So 2 minutes for slashing. Golden opportunity now for the Czech Republic to climb right back into this one as the Czechs take the draw. So goal scorer they have listed as Aaron Campbell for Canada, assisted by Weiss. Czechs on the power play, shot goes well wide. Canada able to get the clear there. That ball caromed off the boards, was a good 3 feet wide, so the Czechs will go back and regroup. Canada's going to go ahead and stack the line here as we get a whistle for offsides. So the faceoff will come back out to the neutral zone with 11:45 remaining. So if you're Canada, obviously very happy with that start, and maybe that's the message here from the coaching staff. Hey, just get balls on net, right? If you don't have a good shooting lane, just throw it down there and maybe something good will happen. But right now their focus is on killing this man advantage with 1:20 left on it. Look for the Czechs to have crisp, sharp passing and try to set up that one-timer. Canada in a diamond, shot goes wide. Comes all the way around to the near boards, back to the point. Down low. Czechs patient with their passing. Right now there's the one-timer, shot blocked by Canada, chipped up out of the zone. As Canada going to get wholesale line changes here. Czechs are going to try and catch him in a line change, but Canada very efficient with their line changes, able to prevent the Czechs from gaining the zone. Now they do. Hard battle behind the net. Ball squirts up towards the Canadian bench and unable to be kept in. Looks like that was misplayed by Machacek from the Czech Republic on defense there. Went to bat it down and just missed on it. Canada stacks the line. Czechs gain the zone. Back to the point. 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Back to the point. Looking for the one-timer. Not there. There it is. Shot. Wide. Rebound. Score! Just like that. Took a carom right off the back. And went right onto the stick of the Czech forward who had an empty net and just easily tapped that one in. Boy, I'll tell you, you've heard it so many times. What I call these games, it often comes down to special teams and bounces, and this is a perfect example. Taking a look at the high definition replay here on the screen, shot was well wide, but the rebound just came right onto the tape of the Czech player. Absolutely nothing Hennessy could do. It was a wide open net. That's just one of those bounces that goes one team's way. That's all it is. It's unfortunate for Canada, but we got ourselves a square hockey game right now, 1-1. And just getting back to my point about special teams here in these World Championships, the talent differential is so small when you get to this level. Oftentimes these games just come down to a bounce and who can better capitalize when they get those man advantages. So for the Czechs, 1-for-1 thus far. Now how will Canada rebound? As a long shot is easily steered aside by Hennessy. Up along the boards, Canada trying to get it out, can't. Back to Griffin, Griffin with it. Long shot in, waffled up into the mesh netting, so the face-off come back into the Czech zone here. So we get a little bit of pushing and shoving. Referee comes over to settle those two players down. In net for the Czechs is Antonin Kremenak. He's certainly been solid thus far. So according to stats.isbhf.com, they gave the goal to Jan Stramka, assisted by Becca and Machacek. They still have Aaron Campbell listed as a goal scorer, assisted by Weiss for Canada. Face-off won back by the Czechs. Up along the far boards, trying to work it through the neutral zone. Batted down. Czechs can't gain the zone. Long shot, wide. Canada now back behind Hennessy. Long outlet pass intercepted, turnover shot! Oh, what a stop! Hennessy! Oh my goodness, how did that not go in the net? Backhand attempt, shot save, Hennessy again. Boy, he's been impressive thus far in this tournament, I'll tell you. This young gentleman has brought his A game here to Hradec Kralove. What a save. Those are the types of save that can give a team momentum, even though Canada just gave up a goal. Sometimes you see your goalie making big stops like that, it just fires you up. As the Czechs gain the zone here, intercepted by Canada. Sent up over to Fangura. Fangura misplayed that, and we get a whistle now. It looks like a high stick, so the faceoff will come to the neutral zone. .841 remaining here, all tied at 1. Couple thousand people in attendance here, I'd say, at CPP Arena. A lot of credit to the Czech Federation. They always put on great tournaments, and it has certainly been nothing short of fantastic here. As the Czechs potentially get a 2-on-1 with numbers, walking in all alone. Save, Hennessy! Kick that one to the backboards. There's 3 in a row. Czechs behind the net, trying to walk it out in front. Can't, nobody there, back to the point. Long shot, deflected wide, hit a body in front. Battle towards the near boards. Comes out towards the point. Intercepted by Canada and then turned over in the neutral zone back to the Czechs. Czechs trying to gain the zone. They turn it back over to Canada. Picked up by Kruliki. Kruliki trying to wheel and deal, unable to. Czechs gain the zone. Shot right into the solar plexus of Hennessy, and he's just going to swallow that up and get a whistle. That was off the stick of Michal Machacek, number 93 for the Czech Republic. So less than a minute remaining here. I notice on the scoreboard the clock is running. They may have to take a referee timeout and stop the clock. So they're flashing the yellow signal at the scorekeeper's table, which means that the scorekeeper needs to talk with the referee. So they're going to go over there and discuss this right now. Well, I stand corrected. My apologies. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the broadcast. So this game and the rest of the games throughout the weekend for the Czech Republic are being broadcast on Czech television, on what is effectively the Czech sports television. Call it the Czech equivalent of ESPN. So there's, to my left, my immediate left up here in the broadcasting area, a professional broadcasting crew. They are taking television timeouts, and that's what that was. So my mistake for that. 7:49 remaining here in the opening period. We get ready for the draw here to the left of Hennessy. One back by Canada. Taken by Burke. Burke with it, patient with the ball. Up towards the far boards. Canada gains the zone. Tries to drop it off. Intercepted by the Czechs, but they can't get it clear. Kept in by Canada. That's Webster with it, down low. Intercepted by the Czechs. Trying to stick handle out of the zone. They do. Taken by Blaha. Blaha with it, trying to wheel and deal. Can't do it. Czechs regain the zone. Picked up by Matusek. Turned over, shot! What a save again by Hennessy, right off of his shoulder. He's such a good positional goaltender. His footwork is just simply outstanding. And the way the Czechs scored the first goal, that's what they're going to need to do in order to beat Hennessy. Because I'll tell you, if this young gentleman sees the shot, he's going to save it. And I could say effectively the same for the Czech netminder as well. He's been outstanding as well. Antonin Kremenek. As the ball goes into the Czech zone, they're going to go back behind Kremenek. Oh, misplayed by the Czechs there. Canada now on a good forecheck. Managed to recover. As Canada gets a couple of fresh runners out here. So Canada looking like they're going with a 1-2-2 on this one. Czechs trying to get the outlet pass. They look to gain the zone. They do. Dumped in down deep. It was taken by Stromko down deep, but then he lost it. Intercepted by Canada. 4 players battling towards the boards. Set back to the point. That was Czechia with it. Czech Republic fires it on net. Save. Hennessy didn't know where it was. I want to stop! Somehow managed to find it as we get extracurricular activities after the whistle. Again, Hennessy on point this game. He made that initial save. Looked like he didn't know where the rebound was. And then somehow found it to his left and managed to completely twist his body over there and get a glove on it as the referee separates the players. 5:44 remaining here in the first period. Great action thus far on both ends. But I would say Hennessy the story. As the referee gets set for the draw here to the left of Hennessy. Czech is going to take the draw here for the Czech Republic. One back by Canada. Sent back round, picked up by Correa. Correa up along the boards. Correa still with it. Tried to advance the ball into the zone. Was intercepted by the Czechs. They try to get a counterattack going here. Shot high over the crossbar. Czechia with it. He's dangerous when he gets into that center area. Canada really needs to keep a body on him at all times. He's incredible hands, and again, was a tournament leading scorer at the Men's Worlds. He is a large human being that has exceptional hands and one of the highest hockey IQs you'll see for someone who is at a young age. He just really knows how to read plays well and find open areas. It's going to be a key coaching point for Canada to make sure that they shadow him at all times. As that ball is kept in by the Czechs, now sent in down deep. Hennessy's going to come back out and stop it. And then send it back up along the near boards. Back behind the net. Czechs with it, wheeling and dealing. Canada intercepts. And Canada manages to get it clear. Good job there by, trouble with this gentleman's first name. Yagiven Fangora. My last name is Bakanowicz, folks, so for the English people at home, believe me, I know how frustrating it is if you're a family or a friend of that young gentleman. I know how frustrating it is when someone gets your name incorrect, but I will do my best, as always. We get a face-off here to the right with 4:29 remaining. Won back by the Czechs. All the way to the point, picked up by Machacic. Machacic sends it in down low, and that's going to get deflected all the way up into the mesh netting, so the faceoff will come back out to the neutral zone. Both teams certainly look like they have high energy. Been a very fast-paced affair. Face-off one back and then picked up by the Czechs. They gain the zone. Cross-floor pass, one-timer shot. Save Hennessy. Saw that one the whole way. Well, Czechs going to have a tough time beating them from that distance if you let them have a look at the ball as it squirts through two Canadians there. Picked up by Cobbert. Cobbert still battling, and the net gets completely dislodged, and Canada takes exception to that, which I think is a perfectly reasonable response. Still jostling. Referee comes in to separate them there. Well, it's not often you see the net get flipped over, so that is in my opinion, a proportionate response from Canada. You don't want your goalie having to worry about somebody flipping the net over on him. And it looks like both teams are getting wholesale line changes here with 3:53 remaining in the first period. Ready for the draw. Won by Canada. Back on defense with it is Jason Granito. Granito still looking for an outlet pass here. Goes over to his partner Correa. High lob out, batted forward by Canada, intercepted by the Czechs. Towards the blue line, they gain the zone. Hustling back is Correa. We're going to penalty on the Czechs here. Obvious call right in front of the referee. Immediately put his arm up. And I don't see the player arguing, so he knows he's guilty of the infraction there. Well, we'll get to see Canada's power play now. As always, in most of the tournaments you see with the Canadians, it's a lethal power play. Expect them, similar to the Czechs, to have crisp ball movement, know where they're going with the ball before they get it, try and get the goalie moving laterally, and get those quick shots on net. 3:06 remaining. See who Canada has out there. I see Krulicki along with Wiley Burkett. Burkett's going to take the draw on defense. I see Dupereau. And I believe Shelbourne. Or pardon me, that's Weiss. So Weiss with it. Down low. Back to the point. Over to Burkett. To White. Fakes the shot. Dupereau. Down low. Gonna switch places with Burkett. Oh, pardon me, that's Ethan Machim at the point. Poke checked away. Machim keeps it in. Kept in by the Canadians. One-timer shot. Blocked. Rebound. Just squirts through the crease. Dupereau trying to feed his partner there in front. Go look at the net. Burkett down low. Directed towards net, but just bounced off the side of the net there. Over to Burkett. Back to Machim. One-timer for Machim. Shot goes wide. Loose ball. Czechs trying to get it clear. They're desperate. These players have got to be tired. That's a full minute on the power play that they've been trying to kill it here. Kept in by Canada. If they keep this team out here, we're going to get a penalty, so it's going to be a 5-on-3. Referee immediately put his arm up for tripping. A Czech player ended up breaking their stick. So Canada will have a 5-on-3, 44 seconds remaining in the initial penalty. So that'll be the length of the 5-on-3. And then taking a look at the replay, obvious call. I know you can't see the replay at home, but no doubt about that one. That's as clear a tripping penalty as you'll see. So for the Czech Republic, off goes ISBHF. So we have a television timeout right now. Both teams gathered around their coaching staff, just going over some strategy right now. This is a tough spot for the Czech Republic. It really is. 5-on-3s. They're just tough to kill. They really are. So the Czech Republic sends out Skoludik, Čeka, Kubicek. They'll be the three that try and kill this. Canada, I see Kralove out there along with Dupereau, Machim at the point, Burkett taking the draw, face-off picked up by Canada. They'll go ahead and get this set up. Back to Machim. Machim, wrist shot, trying to get a deflection there. Goes high off the glass and looked like it hit the mesh netting, so they're going to blow that one dead with 34 seconds left on the two-man advantage. Face-off down low to the right of Kremenak. And that one ends up being won forward by the Czech Republic all the way out of the zone. Canada looks to regain it. They do. They'll go ahead and get set up. Back to the point. Burkett down low. One-timer shot! Just whistled wide up into the netting. Czechs are screaming that that was not deflected. Should be out of the zone. But the referee is saying, yes, you're correct. So they're going to go out of the zone here. Oh, miscue there on the part of Dupereau on that one-timer. Canada takes the draw. Going to go ahead and gain the zone here. Dupereau will just walk it over. Whoop, mishandled. Almost over to Čeka. Canada manages to regain it. Back to Burkett. Back to Dupereau. Shot, save! Oh, that was a big one by Kremenak. Over to Burkett, down low. Two-man advantage is over. Credit to the Czechs for killing that shot. Save. Czechs looking to get it clear. Probably get some fresh legs out there. They do. So they're going to go off. Minute remaining on the second penalty. 45 seconds in the period. So 10-second differential. Canada looking to gain the line. They walk it across. Drop it low. That's Pinkson with it. Back to Webster. Back to Webster. Down low to Pinkson. Centering attempt is blocked. Czechs trying to get it clear. They can't. Nice job keeping it at the point by Canada. Good work there by Griffin. Batting that down out of midair. Canada patient with it. Trying to get a redirect through the 5-hole. Stymied by Kremenak, and that'll do it. So 10-minute break between periods here, folks. We will see you back for the start of the second. Great game thus far. Canada won. Czech Republic won. We'll see you in 10.
obchody, restaurace a barvovance, jednotná počet druhů Hradec, prostor životu, jídlo i zábava.
Chceš vědět, co se aktuálně děje ve tvém městě? Tak se registruj a dostávej denní přehled zpráv na www.hradeckatrna.cz/registrace. Spolu víme všechno. www.hradeckatrna.cz.
Dámy a pánové, v tuto chvíli už avizované ocenění osobností hokejbalu z Hradce Králové předávajícími, kteří s rukou jejich dostanou právě tyto osobnosti pamětní dres a také pamětní ocenění a bude jim Ondřej Kůža, předseda Českomoravského svazu hokejbalu a Tomáš Březina, generální sekretář také Českomoravského svazu hokejbalu. V tuto chvíli už poprosím osobnosti pana Petra Nováka, za kterého však přichází syn Michal a Adam Novákovi. Pamětní dres i pamětní plaketa už je předána pro Petra Nováka, ale samozřejmě v tuto chvíli je drží Michal a Adam Novákovi. Pokračujeme a další osobností královéhradeckého hokejbalu je Jan Pacovský. Jan Pacovský je legendou. Děkujeme za svůj přínos pro královéhradecký hokejbal, tentokrát Jan Pacovský už osobně. Pokračujeme dál a já poprosím Janu Rakouskou, první ženu mezi královéhradeckými osobnostmi hokejbalu. Je pro ní pamětní dres a pamětní plaketa s rukou Ondřeje Kůži a Tomáše Březiny. Jana Rakovecká, díky za váš přínos pro hokejbal. A další, který pro hokejbal taky udělal mnoho, je Vratislav Novák. Za něj dnes přebírá pan Martin Kortel. Pan Martin Kortel, který převzal dres i plaketu pro Vratislava Nováka. Další osobnost, Alexandr Salák.
Ne, jenom že to vidím tady na tom záznamu. To je na online, jak je tam.
Alexandr Salák. A přesouváme se k poslední dnes vyhlašované osobnosti, kterou je Jan Vejměra. Také panu Vejměrovi děkujeme za přínos pro královéhradecký hokejbal, stejně jako všem ostatním osobnostem, které byly vyhlášeny.
Welcome back. Just about ready for the start of the second period. Canada still on a man advantage here for 11 seconds. Face-off is taken by Canada. Granito with it. Granito looking to gain the zone. Flips it in. Burkett gives chase. Drops it back down low. All even now. Well, misplayed by Granito. That's Czechia. Czechia streaking in. Jan Czechia tripped up and we're going to get a penalty. So that's going to go against Jason Granito, tripping up Jan Czechia on the play. Well, if there's ever a good thing about taking a penalty in terms of that was a good penalty to take, I'd say that was a good penalty to take. Of all the people you want to see on the Czech Republic streaking in alone on your goaltender, it's not number 92, Jan Czechia. So now the Czech Republic will go on the man advantage, and we will see how Canada handles their power play. So Hennessy, 6 saves on 7 shots. Kremenak, 5 saves on 6 shots in the first period. As the Czech Republic gets set up. Again, look for the crisp passing and the one-timer here. Back to the point. There's the one-timer, blocked. Canada's going to be able to get it clear there. Good solid block. That was number 73, Owen Weiss, who was able to block it. Czechs looking to gain the line, they do. Intercepted by Canada, back out to the point, able to be kept in. Czechs looking to get set up here. Back to the point, one-timer shot, blocked again. Canada able to get it clear. Kremenak comes out to play it. Canada gets one set of fresh legs out there. Czechs look to stack the line. They're going to get some fresh legs out there. Czechia with it. Czechia wheeling and dealing, trying to stick handle through. Intercepted by Canada, but then batted down by the Czech Republic. Good heads-up play there. Keep that ball in the zone. Keep the pressure on Canada. One-timer shot right into the solar plexus. Hennessy swallows it up. No rebound. With 32 seconds remaining on the man advantage. First real clean look at the net that the Czechs have had on this power play. Good pass. Looking at the replay there. Right into the wheelhouse for the shooter. But again, as you heard me say before, these goaltenders see the shots from that distance. They're going to save it. Face-off taken by the Czechs. Back to the point. Fakes a long shot. Walking it in down low. Back to the point. One-timer shot. Score! Just like that, Jan Czechia. Top shelf over Hennessy. That's what the Czechs have got to do. Get Hennessy moving. Sharp ball movement, crisp passing, and Jan Czechia just circled right into his shooting position. That pass came over right into the wheelhouse, and just nothing Hennessy could do on that, and that's why he's tournament leading scorer, folks. He is just a pure goal scorer. As I said in the first period, special teams so important when you get two teams that know each other so well. A marquee matchup like this, it often comes down to who capitalizes. So the Czech Republic with it, back in their own zone. Czechia assisted by Yager on that. And we're going to get a flooring call here, so the faceoff will come back down deep into the Czech zone. Well, can't be disappointed if you're Canada. I mean, at the end of the day, you played a really good diamond there, and Czechs just moved the ball well and got the ball to their shooter, and he did what goal scorers do. He put it in the back of the net. You know, it's disappointing, but can't say you got to be frustrated with it. So put it behind you, onwards and upwards. And just try and get the equalizer here. Long shot, hit a body in front. Oh, loose ball, turned over, then intercepted by the Czechs. Thought that Canadian player was going to have a chance to walk in there, as that's going to be a flooring call. It's a nice toe drag being attempted by number 22, Brock Perlicki. 12:13 remaining in the second period here. Referee ready for the draw. Face-off is picked up by the Czechs. Rattled around to the near boards. Back behind the net. Again to the near boards. Czechs going to try and carry this into the Canadian zone. They dump it in on Hennessy, and he's just going to smother that and get a whistle. Two Czechs crashing the net on him. Smart play. Been a very even match thus far. Can't say either team has the advantage. They both capitalized on their opportunities. Hennessy now 11 shots on net, 9 saves. But 4 of those, I remember, were big ones from the first period. Center attempt intercepted by the Czechs. Long shot, gloved down easily by Hennessy. Lobbed, intercepted by the Czechs. Good read on the play there. That was number 21, Nick Blogden, made the nice read. Sent up towards the near boards by Hennessy. Intercepted again by the Czechs. Pass is errant. Take it on the fly by Canada. Trying to throw it in on net. Goes off of a foot. Good look at the net there by Fangoras. Canada, Czech comes in all own shots. Just goes wide. Hennessy came out an extra 2 steps. Cut down the angle on number 21, Alice Machek. Credit to Hennessy there for taking that extra step. He really gave Machek nothing to shoot at. That play just developed quickly. Czechs turn around, try and carry this out of their zone. They do, but hemmed in the neutral zone. Now picked up by the Czechs. That's Machacek with it. Machacek. Czechs going to get reset here in their own zone. Dumped in softly, and that's going to be a flooring call. Nope, referee waved it off at the last second. Taken by Canada. Rattled around towards the far boards. Canada's hemmed in. Got 3 Czech players there. And that one ends up getting deflected into the Czech bench. I got to tell you, folks, for a preliminary round-robin game, this is one of the biggest crowds that I've seen in all the tournaments I've called. Really got to credit the Czech Tournament Organizing Committee and certainly the Czech National Federation. They have really pulled out all the stops here at beautiful CPP Arena. Going to be a couple thousand people here watching this battle between the two perennial powerhouses as Czechia now gets it behind the net. Out in front, shot, Hennessy. Cut down the angle, went off of his shoulder. Ball comes out to the corner. Ought to watch out for Czechia here with the wraparound. Hennessy manages to stuff it. Well, Czechia's pointing, saying it went in. The referee said, no, I blew it dead. Czechia doesn't argue the call. So one thing about Czechia, he just has a knack for finding open spaces. I look at the replay here. He felt that the Canadian defender, number 3, Zach Correa, was on his right shoulder, and he immediately just pivoted to the left. You know, that's really not something you can coach. You just got to feel where the player is when they're about to body you. He's just so dangerous when he's up along the boards. We saw this in Visp last year. And listen, I don't want to keep tooting the guy's horn. I just want to give credit where credit's due. It's something that Canada just has to keep an eye on as we get a television timeout here. Saw him do it last year in Visp. He just has a knack for finding that separation, open space. Even if he doesn't have a shooting lane, very good at finding passes to make. Looking down at the Canadian bench right now. Coaches are got the whiteboard out, going over a couple of things here. Both teams continue to have a lot of energy. Heat and humidity definitely not a factor with the temperature at 78 today. I mean, it is obviously a little warm in the arena. There's a lot of bodies here. The air conditioning is not on, but these are players in the prime of their lives. I don't expect fatigue to be a factor in this one. Now, if we end up in double overtime like we did in last year's final at the Men's World Championship, well, hey, we could be singing a different tune. But for right now, both teams a lot of energy. And in just observing the crowd here, there's certainly a lot of scouts from the Americans, the Slovaks, seeing how this game unfolds. And also, there's 2 Czech teams in the U16 division. Host nation has the ability to put in 2 teams if they want for the U16 division, and the Czechs elected to do that. So they split their team up into the Czech Republic Red and the Czech Republic White. In both squads, the white and the red are here in attendance as well. Just a truly electric atmosphere here. And the television timeout is over. Referees are discussing something with the captains here. I don't know what it is. The referees called them over. So it wasn't like either player was, or pardon me, either team was arguing a call. Well, hang on a second now. They've just assessed the penalty to Canada for 2 minutes. I apologize for the confusion, folks. I'm looking at the referee who just went over for an explanation to Team Canada. It's got to be some sort of a goalie infraction because there's no bench minor. And number 25, Fangura, is going over there to serve the penalty. Intentionally dislodging the net. I didn't see the signal. I apologize. I don't know what it is, but that's neither here nor there. Here we go as the Czechs back on the power play. Dangerous situation for Canada. They've got to kill this. Canada back in the diamond. Czechs working the ball. One-timer shot right in the breadbasket. Good job steering that aside. The Canadian defender, I believe that was number 73, Owen Weiss, was able to just get enough on that to deflect it to the corner as Hennessy was a little out of position for a rebound. Czechia here, just from where he scored from before. They might be trying to set him up on the one-timer. Canada's got to be careful with this diamond. They're collapsing a little too tight here. Czechia behind the net. Czechia looking for an outlet up top. Centering attempt, goes off a stick, shot blocked. Can Canada get it clear? They can't. A minute left, Czechia shot blocked. Weiss sacrificing the body. Oh, player goes hard into the boards. And now the Czech player has the audacity to say, are you kidding me? I didn't do anything. And he clearly shoved the Canadian player to the boards. I'm trying to get a number. Canadian player appears to be okay, but listen, I'm American. I'm not trying to give you a Jack Edwards type homer broadcast here. That's number 3 for Canada, Zach Correa, that went hard into the boards, but a little surprised the Czech player argued that. That was Matias Blaha who's going into the box. So there is 57 seconds left on the original Canadian penalty, the bench minor. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 57 seconds, and then Canada will have a 1-3-man advantage with 8:53 remaining in the second period here. Czechs leading 2-1. Canada with a last-minute substitution there. Face-off won by Canada to the boards. Players bodied off the ball, back to the point. Long shot from the point, shot. Save Kremenek, shot, another save Kremenek right into the trapper. He's going to swallow that one up. Hey, good job by Canada there, crashing the net on the rebound. That was number 22, Brock Kulicki, who got that second effort there. Ball is poke checked all the way into the Canadian zone. Czechs trying to gain possession. That's Sema with it. Sema sent it back to the point. Still working it at the point. Nowhere to go with it. Sent in down low towards the near corner. Canada intercepts. Players bodied off the ball. No call. Ref says it was good, clean hockey shot. One-timer whistled wide. Players still battling for positioning here along the near boards. Ball squirts out below the Czech bench. They're going to send it back and get some fresh legs out there as Canada's now on the man advantage. So the Czechs will just look to eat some time here and then get it clear. So Canada's got to get 2 on the ball here. And now finally the Czechs dump it off to Canada. So they'll go ahead and stack the blue line. Canada will look to gain the zone and then just get set up on their normal power play. So they gain the zone. Down low, redirect! Well, that's a smart play there. Trying to see the number from the Canadian player that shot that. It looked like Carter Longland, number 4, is the one that shot that in on net. Or no, pardon me, that was 44, so that was Burkett that shot that in on point. Smart play, had a player there all alone. Always good to try and go for a deflection. 24 seconds left here. Canadians down low, walking it out in front. Rebound, still loose, shot. Oh, it just goes over the crossbar. Oh, what a golden opportunity there. Ben Fontaine, number 91, just missed by inches. Canada looking to gain the zone. Oh, shot into the zone, but intercepted by the Czechs. Now it's picked up by Canada. Long wrist shot, deflected in front by Burkett. Knocked down, he's hemmed in behind the boards. Oh, Canada needs to be careful here. They're able to keep it in. Player was going off for a line change as the ball came towards him. Trying for a one-time attempt. Can't do it. All alone, shot save! Well, that happened quickly. Czechs need to be careful now. Letting Canadian players streak towards the net. Shot right in the breadbasket, and Hennessy's going to swallow it up as we're all square back at 5. Czechs, a little bit of a mental mistake there. That was 2 times on the power play. The Canadian player was left all alone streaking towards the net. Coach is going to have to remind their players about that as we get a television timeout here. Back from the television timeout, ready for the draw here to the left of Hennessy. 6:18 remaining in the second period. Canada with it, back behind their net. Granito looking for an outlet. Redirected, but ends up being a flooring call. It's my mistake. It was not redirected. Looked like he was trying to hit number 4 there, Carter Longland. Face-off come back down deep into the Canadian zone. Face-off won by the Czech. Shot. Big save, Hennessy. Right down under the butterfly. Long shot. Deflected. Wide wraparound attempt. Skirts through the crease. Picked up by the Czechs. Wheeling and dealing behind the net. Drops it back off for his partner, but intercepted by Canada. Longland has it, rifles it in, as Canada's going to get some fresh legs out. Czechs looking for an outlet pass here. Canada with 2 on the forecheck. Now they go up towards the far boards. Czechs looking to carry it into the zone. They dump it in and give chase. Czechs still along the far boards. Trying to find some sort of outlet here. Just know where to go with it. Now walks it in. Shot goes wide. Chipped out by Canada, but kept in by the Czechs. Player goes hard into the boards, and the Czechs are going to get 2 minutes there. Referee immediately put his arm up. So that'll be on number 46 for the Czech Republic. And I actually don't have a 46 on my score sheet. So let me check stats.isbhf.com, see if they have a 46 on there. They do. It's Yellen Milan. So Yellen Milan's going to go off. 2 minutes, 4:40 remaining in the second period. Another golden opportunity for Canada now, as that player is still down along the boards. That might be Burkett. It looks like number 44 from up here. Hard to see. Player still down. Player is up, gets a round of applause. As soon as I can see the number, I'll let you know who it was that took that hard shot into the boards. Just about ready for the draw here. Yep, so that was Burkett. Or pardon me, not Burkett, that was someone else. Nonetheless, Canada back on the man advantage now. That was Jacob Dugan that went down. Sorry, it was 24, not 44. Czechs with it, trying to carry it through the zone. Jan Čeka decides better against it, turns around, just kills some time off the clock. Long shot, stopped by Hennessy. Canada now looking to gain the Czech zone. Dumped in softly, but Canadians were a little late giving chase there, so the Czechs are going to beat them into the ball, going to be able to get a clear here with 1 minute, 5 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Czechs dump it all the way in. Oh, Canadian player goes hard into the boards, but Czechs turn it over. Canada gains the zone, chips it in deep. Czechs trying to get a clear here. Good read on the play by Canada, still battling along the near boards, just below the Canadian bench. Now back down towards the corner, back behind the net, center attempt! All the way back to the point. Canada now set up. Canada looking for that one-timer. Down low, shot. Ooh, didn't miss by much. Over to Griffin. Then Burkett, shot, one-timer, swallowed up. Kremenak. 16 seconds left on the man advantage. Canada trailing 2-1, 2:55 left in the second period. Well, if I'm Canada, I gotta be a little bit disappointed with how I'm executing this power play. A couple of missteps through the neutral zone, and that one outlet pass that was misplayed allowed the Czech Republic to effectively kill 15-20 seconds. Got to get sustained zone time here, right? You want to get these players tired so that you can get the passes across, get the goalie moving laterally, and get that one-timer going. One by Canada, back to the point. 10 seconds left. Canada's got to get a shot on net here. Still looking for a pass. 5 seconds. Fakes it. One-timer faked. Wrist shot. Loose. Still loose, and they bury it on the rebound. I don't think Kremenak saw it. Oh, what a smart heads-up play by number 25, Fangora. He faked that one-timer, waited till the Czech player committed to go down, then let the wrist shot go. I believe it made it through to Kremenak. Kremenak made the initial save, and I don't know if a Czech defender just couldn't find the ball, but I'll take a look at the replay up here on the high-definition Jumbotron. So he fakes the shot, Czech player goes down, then he lets loose the wrist shot. And yeah, Czech player just missed the rebound, and the Canadian player was able to just put that right into the back of the net. As soon as they post the score here, they're giving it to Mason Engele, assisted by Fangora and Pinkson. Mason Engele, assisted by Fangora and Pinkson. Hey, great job by Fangora. He really set that up. That was an outstanding fake, got the Czech player to commit and effectively take himself out of the play. And just like that, tie hockey game, 2-2. Long shot in, knocked down by Kremenak. Picked up by Jan Čeka in the neutral zone. Advanced forward into the Canadian zone. Both players go down. Fans screaming for a call. Now we're going to get a call. Is this on Canada? Well, it was behind the play. I was watching to see if the ref put his hand up, and he did. And it looks like it's going to be on Canada for holding. Take a look at the replay here. I believe it's going to be Granito. He gets the one that got tangled up. No, it's not. It'll be Burkett. So Burkett goes into the box. Well, if you're Canada, you know, listen, I don't want to criticize World Championship level players. I just don't know that you take that penalty there. You might want to let that one go. I understand it's heated. It's a rivalry game. Obviously, you're playing hard. You're battling along the boards, but when you're right in front of the referee like that, you just got to be a little bit mindful of where the referee is before you go grabbing somebody's jersey. So here we are. Czechs on the power play now. Can they capitalize? Over to Čeka. Fakes the shot. Back to Čeka. Fakes it. Čeka shot. Score! Jan Čeka! Through traffic. Well, I'll tell you, that thing was in the back of the net before Hennessy had a chance to set his feet. What an absolute missile. Absolute missile. Take a look at the replay here on the Jumbotron, and just nothing Hennessy could do. There's 3 people in front of him. He never saw that. Now they have the view from Hennessy and just absolute perfect placement on the part of Czechia. Oh, the world-class player, what can you do, right? Goal scorers are known to do stuff like that. If you're Canada, you know, maybe you're a little disappointed with the penalty, but it's not like you made a mistake on the penalty kill. Got to put it behind you, keep your heads up, and just look to get the next one. 3-2 Czech Republic, minute 51 remaining here in the second period. Referee coming over to the Czech bench. Not sure what the discussion is. Czechs with the ball in the Canadian zone. Long shot, score just like that, a wrist shot! That seemed harmless! And it beat Hennessy blocker side! Oh, what a stunning turn of events. 2 goals in less than 30 seconds by the Czech Republic. It's a harmless wrist shot from just inside the blue line. I'm looking at the replay here. It looked like Hennessy saw it the whole way. He just missed it with his blocker. First mistake I've seen him make of the tournament. All I can say is, wow. I said it earlier in the first period. If these goalies see the shots, they're going to save it. Obviously, not in that case. Hennessy has just got to put that one behind him. And Canada's got to get one back for him. I mean, no goalie is perfect, right? They all make mistakes, but as Canada tries to break it in here, the ball gets batted up in the air, still loose. Czechs looking to corral it up. Canada now finds itself down by 2. Center attempt, unable to be picked up. Entering the last minute of play here in the second period. Czechs poke it out of the zone. Canada looking to regain the zone. They can't. Czech player still down. Now they blow the whistle. 53 seconds remaining. See who they give the assist to on that. So the goal is Peter Sima, assisted by Maček and Lata. And trainers come out to tend to the down Czech player. Well, as a goaltender myself, folks, I can tell you, sometimes shots just have eyes. And the ball curves a lot more than you think, especially when you're at a world championship. These players have so much mustard on the shot. You think a shot is going to go wide, and next thing you know, it just dips 2-3 feet into the back of the net. In that case, certainly want to give Hennessy the benefit of the doubt. I would imagine the shot curved because he went to play it with his blocker, and it went between his blocker and his pad, and it just happens, right? He's a world championship goalie. He's played lights out thus far. First mistake is made. It's unfortunate, but hopefully his team can pick him up. But if you're the Czechs, I got to tell you got to feel good. 2 goals in 30 seconds like that, you probably want to just get to the intermission and say, hey, boys, we got a 2-goal lead here. Let's just play some smart hockey in the third period. No penalties. Don't give Canada any opportunities on the power play. And no turnovers, I was just about to say, as they turn the ball over there. Mishandled by number 11. Now Canada with some attack zone time. 4 players battling along the boards. Referee right there. Ball still loose. Finally corralled by the Czechs. They're just going to softly dump that one out with 20 seconds left here in the second period. Sent all the way in deep to the Czech zone. Another turnover. Got to be careful here. Along the boards. Picked up by the Czechs, and that'll do it. Okay, as I mentioned before, 10-minute break between period. We'll see you back here for the start of the third. Czech Republic 4, Canada 2.
Dámy a pánové, na konci druhé třetiny na naší straně číslem 92 Honza. A potom další, ten čtvrtý hráč s číslem 24, tak to je Petr. A ještě jednu otázku tady na vás mám. Kolik to je? Díky moc.
Ahoj, to je Filip. Chtěl bych vás poznamenat, že jste si tady video
Prostě něco říct, jak hledeš ven, tak budeš nějakou myšlenku, pak se musím toho, aby se něco nastínilo.
Fandíme hokejbal, rozehrajte u nás. Multikilové, obchody, restaurace a parkování zdarma. Jen 15 minut odsud. Futury Hradec, rozkročí nákupy, jídlo i zábava.
Chceš vědět, co se aktuálně děje ve tvém městě? Tak se registruj a dostávej denní přehled zpráv na www.hradeckadrobna.cz/registrace. Spolu víme všechno. www.hradeckadrobna.cz
Back for start of the third period here. Czech Republic leading Team Canada 4-2 as Canada dumps it in. And Kremenek's just going to hold on to this one. Just to recap the scoring, which you can see for yourself on stats.isbhf.com. Czech goal scorers, Jan Stromko, assisted by Beka and Machacek. Then Jan Čeka, assisted by Jager. Jan Čeka again, assisted by Kubicek. Then Peter Sima, assisted by Macek and Lata. As Canada has the ball behind the Czech net. Trying to wheel and deal, get a centering attempt blocked down. Ball still loose, squirts out, picked up by the Czechs. Canada tries to intercept, potential 2-on-1. Canada hustling back. Pass goes a little too hot to handle as Burkett picks it up for Canada. Alexiuk assisted by Weiss and Campbell, and then Mason Engeli assisted by Fangora and Pinkson. Kremenek has made 12 saves on 14 shots, and Hennessy has made 13 saves on 17 shots. Fangora with it now, streaking in, tries to drop it, intercepted. Czechs looking for the long outlet pass, deflected by Canada into the zone. That one's intercepted by the Czechs, but then batted down by the Canadian player. Czechs corral it, gain the zone. Wrist shot, pad save. Rebound comes all the way out in front of the top of the circle. Picked up by Webster. Canada with it, gains the zone. It's blocked in. Dumps it off for Granito. Down low, centering attempt, nobody there. Czechs take control up along the near boards. Taken by Blaha, carries it into the zone. Blaha still looking for somewhere to go with it. Canadian player lost their stick. Pinned up along the boards and then sent all the way down. That's going to be a flooring call. So the faceoff will come back down deep into the Canadian zone, but no, they wave it off. So the Czechs take it. 12:35 remaining here in the final period. Still behind their own net. Now they're trying to advance it forward. Up along the boards. Czechs streaking down. Nowhere to go with it. All the way back to the point. Long shot. Pad save up into the net. That was off the stick of Martin Corbell. Easy save for Hennessy. Face off to the right of Hennessy. Referee ready to drop the ball. One by the Czech, shot high off the glass. Towards the Canadian bench, intercepted by the Czech Republic. Czechs back behind the net. It's Jan Čeka with it. And we're going to get a penalty here. Net's off, and we're going to get a holding. Well, Canadian player not happy with that one. Trying to see the number from up here. I believe that's Karen Burke, number 33. Going to go off for 2 minutes. I mean, looking at the replay, it's right in front of the referee. He grabbed Čeka from behind and then tackled him into the net. Referee made the call, so now Canada got to kill this PK. Čeka taking the draw for the Czechs. Won by Canada. Can't get it out. Fakes the shot. Back to the point. A little too hot to handle. Back down low. Up to the point. One-timer. Shot blocked. Ball's loose. Back to the point. And we have a Canadian player down as there's some jostling in front of the net. Trainer comes out to tend to the down Canadian player. Can't see the number from up here. See if I can see it on the replay. Well, he went down to block it, and I think the ball just caught him. Might have been in the chest area. Looks like that's Jack Alexiuk, number 67. So he will walk off. Face off to the left of Hennessy. Face off taken by the Czechs. Down low. Back to the point, one-timer shot, whistles high above the crossbar. Battle down deep, 4 players there. Trying to work it loose. And the referee blows it dead, so we'll get a face-off here down deep in the zone. Minute 14 remaining on the man advantage for the Czech Republic, 10:59 remaining in the third. Canada going to get some fresh legs out, as is the Czech Republic.
Češi, pojďme si říct o to, co chceme. My chceme gól! My chceme gól!
Ready for the draw. Won by the Czechs to the point. One-timer shot, deflected. Back to the point. One-timer shot, blocked. Canada should be able to get a clear here. They do. Good job by number 24, Jacob Dugan, getting that out of the zone. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. This will be a big kill for Canada if they can run this out. .35 seconds left on the man advantage. Czechs looking to gain the zone. They dump it in deep. Carry it back behind the net. Patient with it. Shot! Score! Just like that! Cross crease. One-timer. No chance for Hennessy. As that was in the back of the net before he even slid across. Czechs just looking lethal on their power plays here. Just nothing you can do about that. Looking at the replay here. Perfect pass right into the wheelhouse. And the twine had already been touched before Hennessy could even get across. Well, if you're Canada, this is obviously a hill to climb now. You just got to focus on getting one. Try and get some momentum back.
Time 34:58. Goal for Team Czechia, scored by player number 24, Petr Šíma, assisted by player
Back behind the Canadian net. Canada trying to work that away from the Czech Republic. Goal scorer is Peter Sima, assisted by Stramko. Sent up through the neutral zone, taken over by Canada, chipped in. Back behind their own net go the Czechs. Czechs having a little trouble getting this one out of their zone. Canada aggressive on the forecheck. Now they get it up through the neutral zone. Czechs have the zone. Oh, nice turnaround move, walking in, shot, wide. Czechia with it. Back to the point, fakes the shot. Long wrister, batted down in front. Whoop, good stick lift over to Czechia. One pass, shot, deflected wide. Czechs, you can clearly tell with the momentum here. Czechia with it, trying to find somebody to hit. Czechia still with it, long wrist shot, blocked down. Turnover by Canada, wrist shot, save, rebound, still loose. Got to clear, that should be a flooring call. Faceoff will come all the way back down deep. Canada just looks out of sorts here. Just having trouble holding on to the ball when it gets on their stick and just making sharp outlet passes, or even just trying to get it clear. Face-off one all the way back by the Czechs. And saying that's a flooring call. It was one forward by the Canadians. Yes, they are. No, hang on now. Referee's discussing. Okay, so I think it was an inadvertent flooring call. They're going to drop this at center floor. And we have a television timeout for 1 minute. Okay, we're back from the TV timeout, ready for the drop here at center floor. Taken by the Czechs. Canada now corrals it behind their net. Trying to work it through the neutral zone. Looks like they'll be able to gain the zone. Poke checked away. Canada still has the zone. Ball being batted around there. Canada still has the zone. We're going to get a penalty on the Czech Republic here. Are they calling matching minors here? Well, referee separates two players. See what the call is. So signaled high stick and a roughing. It's going to be dual minors on the Czech Republic. It is. So 5-on-3 for Canada. Well, this is a golden opportunity here. Oh, you got to get one in the back of the net here. 5-on-3. This is a rare occurrence in World Championships. If you're Canada, got to get your hottest 5 out there and make sure that they get some balls to the net. If you're the Czech Republic, just do everything you can to try and negate this. This could be a huge momentum swing here. Referee still providing instructions here on the draw. One by Canada. Back to the point. Canada patient with a shot. Deflected wide by Czechia. Looked like that caught him in the thigh. He was holding his leg for a second. Cross-floor pass, the player's stick broke. That was Burkett. He goes and grabs a new stick from the bench. Canada gains the zone. Canada patient with it. Fakes a shot, one-timer. Good save, Kremenak. Sliding over. Centering attempt to the back of the net. And just like that, Canada cuts the lead down. 5-3. Precision ball movement. Perfect passing. Absolutely nothing Kremenak could do, right into the back of the net. See who they give the goal to here. Looking up at it on the replay. I believe that was number 22 for Canada. Might be Brock Furlicki. He's the one celebrating on the bench. Nonetheless, outstanding job by Canada, and they still have 1:12 on the 5-on-4. So this game's not over yet. 6:39 remaining here in the third period. So it was Kryllicki assisted by Dupereau. Canada looks to gain the zone. They flip it in, and that's just going to be gloved down. Well, Canadian bench was saying that Kremenak hit the Canadian forward with his stick, but referee was right there. No call on the play. Face-off won by Canada. Back to the point, fakes a shot. Fakes a shot, centering attempt, not in the wheelhouse. Canada still with possession. 37 seconds left of the man advantage. Over to Giffen, shot, whistles wide. Canada maintains possession. Very patient with the ball movement here. Trying to get Kremenak moving laterally. .15 seconds left. Got to get something on the net here. Running out of time. One-timer shot off the back glass. Czechs pick it up. Can they get the clear? They do, and that'll do it. So the Czech Republic kills off the 5-on-4. All even at 5 with 5:25 remaining. Canada streaking in, shot, redirected, loose, still loose! Oh, Czechs dodged a bullet there. That ball was squirted loose, and Kremenak was completely out of position. Canada unable to get a stick on it. As we get a flooring call, and a Canadian player very upset with themselves down there. That was Webster banging his stick as he came off the floor. All right, Czechs with one late line change there. So both teams are set. Face-off won by the Canadians. Battle along the boards. Still down low. Canadian player hemmed in, now manages to squirt it loose, picked up by the Czechs, and he just rifles that up into the mesh netting. So the face-off will stay down deep in the Czech zone. Ready for the draw, won by the Czechs. Oh, backhander, inadvertent, turned over to Canada. Czechs managed to pick it up and then lob softly out of the zone. Canada hustled back, 4:40 remaining. Deflected into the zone, Canada giving chase. Czechs beat him to the ball. Czechs looking for an outlet here as Canada's getting aggressive on the forecheck. Oh, to Czechia. Czechia trying to work this towards the net. Czechia trying to walk it around. Czechia still with it. Czechia! Shot, save, Hennessy. Nice backhand attempt by Jan Czechia. He's bodied off the play. Czech bench screaming for a call. Referee not having it. As Czechia is down. Referee's arm is not up. There will not be any call on this. 3:55 remaining. Looked like good, clean hockey from up here. Czechia still down, being tended to by the training staff. And he is up, walking out under his own power, always a good sign. Czechs holding on to a 5-3 lead here with 3:55 remaining in the third. Face-off taken by Canada, lob towards the neutral zone, intercepted. Long shot goes wide. Taken over by the Czechs, centering attempt, a little too hot to handle. Taken over by Canada now. Canada walking in, shot! Pad save by Kremenak. Off the stick of Dupereau. Ready for the draw to the right of Kremenak. Into the corner it goes. Battle along the boards. Centering attempt. Canada maintains possession. Wrist shot. Just zings wide. Drop back down low. Trying to walk it out front. They do. What a stop! Oh, are you kidding me? Kremenak. Absolutely perfect pass. And Kremenak just went down under the butterfly and smothered it up. That was a golden opportunity for Canada off the stick of Carter Longland. Face-off taken by the Czechs. Well, mishandled. Now back deep into their zone. Going to give Canada a chance to go on the forecheck. Czechs chop it up the boards. Under 3 minutes remaining. Walking in, shot, save. No, it hit the post. Looked like Hennessy had saved it, but he looked behind him, must have hit the post. Referee immediately signaled no goal. Jan Checo with it. Long shot attempt is blocked down. Up off the boards. Player loses their footing. Czechs trying to take possession of it. Still batted down, and we get a whistle here for too many men on the floor. Yes, that is the call. Well, if you're Canada, oh, that's a tough one to swallow. 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. See who they send to serve the bench minor here. Looks like number 10, Fraser Locke, is going to go over and serve the bench minor. It's got to be tough, right? Got to be tough. You're down 2. There's 2 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the game, and too many men on the floor. Czechs with possession. Well, they'll be content to kill a lot of clock here. Czechs just going to work the ball around. Sent in down low. Back down behind the net. Near boards. To the point. To the far point. Back down low. Minute 10 remaining in the game. Oh! Mishandled by the Czech player. We're going to get a penalty here. We are. Well, Burkhead not happy with that one. Referee called him for a slash. And now we're getting an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Czech bench. That's the Slovakian contingent. Cheers for that. You hear me talk about it oftentimes when I do these broadcasts, folks. You got to keep your head in the game. And Czechs effectively just could have iced it with a 5-on-3 for the remainder of the game, but they took a bench minor there for unsportsmanlike conduct. Just a wholly unnecessary penalty. Got to be smart. Can't hurt the team. So the face-off is going to come to the neutral zone here on the Czech side. And it looks like for the Czech Republic, Nicholas Stalhy is going to serve that penalty. One forward by the Czechs. Canada takes control. Looks like they're going to pull the netminder. Shot steered aside. Czechs looking to get the clear. All the way deep into the Canadian zone. Canada will go back to retrieve. 35 seconds left. And Czechs intercept, potential empty netter here. They do. So that'll put a bow on this one. That was Tomáš Lota that put that one into the empty net. And the Czechs are going to get the victory here. They go up 6-3. Well, for Canada, obviously a disappointing result. Played good. A couple of power play goals by the Czechs, and they just did not have an answer. Just did not have an answer. Credit to the Czech Republic handling their business. So they will remain in first place here. 16 seconds left. 12 seconds. And 5 seconds remaining here. Czechs will just be content to eat this. So that'll do it. The crowd cheers and celebrates. Czech Republic takes home the W. 6-3, your final over Team Canada. Thank you for joining us tonight. That's going to wrap it up for me. I've been your play-by-play announcer, Chris Pekanowicz. Appreciate you joining us. Look forward to more exciting action here as we begin some of the semifinal action in the U16 division, as well as the final round robin games in the U23, including a couple of
Czechia, player number 2,
pánové, prosím, povstaňte, zazní hymna Česka.
Češi, je to tam! Taky tento zápas česká reprezentace do 23 let vyhrála proti Kanadě. Výsledný stav 6-3. Díky moc, že jste tady s námi byli, že jste fandili. No a přijďte fandit taky zítra. První zápas začíná v 8:30, ale vás bude určitě zajímat hlavně ten další, který odehraje česká reprezentace třeba do těch 23 let. Ten se bude hrát zítra v 18 hodin. Je to poslední zápas základních částí a budeme hrát proti Slovensku. Ve 13 hodin začínají semifinálové duely v kategorii do 16 let. Těšíme se na vás, mějte příjemný zbytek večera a zítra nashledanou.
Thank you.